Four reasons why people buy. Hi, my name is Coach Weldy Ifeanyi James. I'm a sales coach and a high ticket closer. I help business owners and entrepreneurs to increase their sales performance and also increase their profit margin. Four reasons why people buy. Now, several times you might be confused, sometimes you might be depressed, sometimes you might feel discouraged. Why are people not buying? Sometimes beyond your wildest expectation or your wildest imagination, you start misunderstanding yourself, thinking you're not doing the right thing, or what are you not doing right? There are reasons why people buy, and this four is the four major reasons why people would buy from you. Number one is that people buy for their own interest. People don't buy because you're nice. They buy because of their interest. Not because of your interest to sell or to make money, but because of their interest to want to buy from you. That's why they buy. Number one. That's why they buy. Because one of the biggest mistakes amateur salespeople make here and there is asking people to buy on their own personal interest and not the customer's interest. Not based on the fact that the customer interest is being met or the customer desires is being met, but because they just want to make money. So you have to move from that intention to just make money, you just want to sell and make money, to ensuring that their interest is your top priority. Number two, why people buy. Perceived value. The number two reasons why people buy is the perceived value. The perceived value. Now, take for example Coca-Cola. Now, when you see Coca-Cola, anywhere they sell Coca-Cola, not even just anywhere they sell Coca-Cola, even when you see a Coca-Cola advert, there is something that happens to your mind. You start perceiving the value of Coca-Cola to you. And because of that perceived value, your desire to drink Coca-Cola will start being aroused. And once it is aroused, any next or nearest shop where you will see Coca-Cola, you want to buy Coca-Cola to drink. So perceived value. What are you selling? What are you selling? What is the perceived value? Can you start showing people the perceived value? Can you start making people to perceive the value they are going to be getting? Once they buy that thing, what are those value you want them to get? If you can move them enough to perceive it, it is easier for them to buy. So if you can make them to perceive it, it is easier for them to buy. If you can make them to perceive the value, it's easier for them to buy. Number three, why people buy from you. Believability. They must believe in your product. And I tell people it is difficult and almost impossible to sell a product you don't believe, because your customer don't even believe. So it is your belief that can direct their belief. It is your belief that can command their own belief in that product. If they don't believe in it, they're not going to buy. They are likely not going to buy. You see, no matter how convinced you are that your product or your service will do what you say it will do, the customer will still be skeptical. Your job is to raise your credibility to the point at which the customer will have no reluctance in going ahead to buy from you. Do you believe in your product? Do you believe in your service? Do you believe you have the solution people are looking for? If you do, it is easier for you to sell to them. It is easier for them to buy from you. believability. And number 4 is trust. You see, trust is one of the major elements that you must ensure people have about your product. You must come to that point where you make them trust your product. You must come to that point where you make them believe your product. And there are different ways you can make them to trust you. If you are invisible, it is difficult for them to trust you. A lot of people today, I have seen them, they are not even willing to show up for their own business. They are not even willing to show up for their own service. They are not even willing to show up for what they represent. They want to remain invisible in a visible world. It will not going to work. It will not work. So trust. You build trust by being visible. You build trust by being vocal. You build trust by educating people. You build trust by always showing up. Always show up. So number 1, like I said, people buy for their own interest. Number 2, I said people buy for perceived value. And number 3, like I said, people buy because of believability, their belief. And lastly, I said people buy because of trust. Work on these 4 things and people will start buying from you. See you in my next video, and if you get value here, share this video, click the link and click the subscription button and subscribe to my channel so you'll be getting more updates on our new videos we post weekly. And if you have not clicked the notification button, kindly do so, because we're going to be bringing your way a lot of value that is going to help you to increase your sales in 2025. See you in my next video.